I'm Lara, and today I'll be leading you through a short flow and we'll be working with using a block. So you just need one block for your practice today, and we'll go ahead and today get started on your back. Go ahead and lay down onto your back, keep your knees bent, and use your hands, your arms to help you come down onto your back. You can set up your feet, your knees about hip distance apart, have your feet planted, and just make sure you have your block close by within reach so you don't have to go searching for it. And as you start to ground down here, feel your arms alongside your body and start to press down into your arms, press down into your feet to lift the hips up. And we'll use the block, slide it underneath your sacrum, right underneath the very base of your spine. You can keep it on the flattest level horizontally across the base of the spine, right behind the hips, the pelvis, so you can rest the weight of the hips onto the block. And your arms can open out to the sides, or you might like to rest your hands onto your hips or onto your belly. Just take your time grounding here into this supported bridge pose, a really nice and restorative version of bridge. And as you get grounded, get rested, feel the entire back side of the body rested and grounded down towards the earth. And also feel the weight of the hips anchoring down on top of the block. And we'll take a few rounds of deep breaths together here. Take a big full breath in through the nose, expanding through the lungs, opening up through the body. Sigh it out through the mouth, let it all go. A couple more rounds of breath like that. Take a big full breath in, expanding through belly, ribs, chest, opening up. And sigh it out through the mouth, let it go. And one more full breath in, expanding through the belly, ribs, chest, opening up through the body. And sigh it out through the mouth, let it all go. And then start to take your breaths in and out through the nose, creating your Ujjayi breath. And just notice how the block underneath the hips helps you to feel grounded, helps you to feel rested. And we'll invoke that energy of grounded presence throughout our practice. And keep your hips onto the block, bring your arms down alongside your body. You can turn your palms to face down. And we'll start this movement of the arms in connection with the breath. So as you inhale, reach your fingertips up towards the sky and then keep reaching your arms all the way back behind you. Maybe the backs of the hands touch the ground. As you exhale, reverse that movement. Bring your arms all the way back down alongside you. Press your arms, your palms down to the floor. Do that a couple more times. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way back, opening up through the front of the chest and shoulders. Exhale, bring your arms all the way back down alongside your body. And just one more with the breath. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up and back. And as you exhale, bring your arms back down alongside your body. And press down into the arms, press down into the feet. Lift your hips up off the block. Just hovering your hips off the block to a more active bridge pose. And keep your hips lifted up. Take one of your hands to slide the block out to the side, out from underneath you. And then slowly roll down the spine. Lower your hips all the way back down onto the floor. Go ahead and hug your knees in towards your chest. And you can gently rock side to side or circle your knees around a little bit, just giving a massage to the mid and lower back. You can circle in one way and then circle in the other way if you're doing that circular movement in the legs. And take your hands behind your knees and we'll start to rock forward and back a few times lengthwise along the spine. And just rock yourself all the way up to a tabletop. So you can cross your shins, roll over your knees. Come onto your hands and knees to all fours. And do a couple rounds of cow and cat with your inhale, lowering your belly, opening up through the space of the heart. As you exhale, rounding through the spine and pressing into your palms. Just do a few more rounds. Inhale, lowering the belly, opening through the heart space. Exhale as you round through the spine. And just one more with the breath. Inhale, lowering through the belly, open through the heart space. Exhale, round up through the spine. Come back through a neutral spine. Walk both of your hands just a couple inches forward of the shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift the hips all the way up and back to your downward facing dog. And from your down dog, take your right leg, float it up and back. And start to stack your hip open
and bend your knee. Gently turn your hips open towards the right side. Stay strong into your palms, into your arms. As you inhale, extend your right leg all the way back, level through the hips. Hug your knee into the chest and step it all the way through between your palms. Gently lower your left knee down to the floor. And then you'll find your block. Place your block underneath the left hand. Press your hand down into the block as you reach your right arm up towards the sky, opening up to this twist. So even if you can place your left hand onto the floor, just notice how using a block under the hand gives you a little bit more space to open up through the chest. And take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, you'll close off your twist. Bring your right arm underneath the thigh. Try to tap the left ribs as you turn your chest down. Inhale, open up through the chest, back into that twist. 2 more, coming down. Inhale, opening back up. And just 1 more. Inhale and open it back up. And bring your right hand down to frame your front foot. Move the block off to the side, and now place your left hand all the way to the floor if you can reach. Reach your right arm back up towards the sky and just feel the difference of using a block and not using a block. You can always use the block to create more space. And take 1 more inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down to frame your front right foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your left knee up, and we'll step it back to a plank position. And you can move through a vinyasa if you'd like, chaturanga, halfway down or all the way down. Rise up to your back bend cobra or upward facing dog. Tuck your toes, exhale to your downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths in your down dog. Take your left leg, float it up and back. Stack your hip open and bend your knee. Gently turn your hips open towards the left side, staying grounded through the arms, through the palms, strengthening through the shoulders. Inhale, extend your left leg back, leveling out through the hips. Hug knee into the chest, step it all the way through between your palms. Lower your back right knee down to the ground. And again, take your block under the right hand, under the shoulder. Open up to your twist towards the left, reaching your left arm up to the sky. Feel the spaciousness as you press down into the block with your right hand opening through the chest. Gentle pressing the hips forward to get that stretch. Take 1 more inhale here. As you exhale, turn your chest down, sweep your left arm underneath the thigh. Try to tap your fingertips to the right side ribs. Inhale, open back up to your twist. Just 2 more. Curling in. Inhale, opening the arm back up. And 1 more time. Inhale, opening the arm back up. And then bring your left hand down to the floor. You can move your block off to the side. And bring your right hand back underneath the shoulder, flat to the ground if you can. And then reach your left arm back up towards the sky. Reopening into the twist and just feel the difference of using the block and not. See how it helps you to create more space. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, bring your left hand down to the floor. Tuck your back right toes, lift your right knee up. Step it back through a plank position. And again, you can move through a vinyasa, or you can simply go straight back through to a downward facing dog. And breathe into your downward facing dog. And step or hop your feet back up to the top of your space, coming up to your forward fold with your inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, folding in. And root through your feet, rise all the way up to standing. Sweep your arms up, touching palms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands down to the space of the heart. Good. Bend your knees as you sit back to a chair pose. Bend your knees, sweep your arms up and sit down low. As you exhale, we're going to come all the way down to seated. Try to keep reaching your hands forward. Sit your hips low. Step your feet forward, coming to this version of sitting up tall to a version of Navasana boat pose. So you can keep your feet grounded. You can start to float your feet up or extend your legs straight. Take your version, opening through the chest. Couple breaths, firing up the core. Plant your feet down, reach your arms all the way back up, and then just hug your arms around the shins, around the knees, curling in, relax. Good. And as you come up to seated, have your block close by. We're going to use the block again here as you come down onto your back. And you'll take your block into your hands. Now we'll use the block to activate our core. Keep your feet planted. Take the block into your hands. Reach your arms, your block all the way back behind you. Take an inhale as you reach back. And then as you exhale, extend both of your legs up to the sky, flex through the feet. And take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to pass your block between the feet. And then extend the legs forward, let the heels hover, reach your arms all the way back, keep the core strong. And then as you exhale, bring the legs up, reach for the block with your hands, and then reach your arms back, reach your legs forward. And we'll do this with control. Take an inhale as you extend through the body. Exhale as you crunch past the block into the feet. Inhale, extending, block forward, arms back. Exhale, reaching everything up. Grab the block with the hands. Come back to your extension. You can really feel the core warming up. Do this a few more times. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Good. After your next round, you can reach the arms back, reach the legs forward. Bend your knees up, plant your feet back to the floor, and hug your knees back in towards your chest. Take a couple of rounds of breath here. And we'll open up to a happy baby. Separate through the knees, flex through the feet. You can bring your arms on the insides of the legs as you hold around the ankles or edges of the feet. You can rock side to side a little bit here. And hug your knees back in towards your chest. And plant your feet back down to the floor. And find your block again. We're going to use the block back to that supported bridge that we used earlier. Lift the hips up, slide the block horizontally underneath the sacrum. So lower than your low back, set your hips down onto the block. Reach your arms alongside the body, or you can open your arms out to any degree, whatever you have space for. And then from here, keeping the hips weighted on the block, take your right leg, extend it forward. Let the heel rest onto the floor. So using the block here to help create this nice stretch for the front of the right hip flexor. Let your right leg be heavy in its own weight. And breathe into the stretch as you open up through the front of the right hip. Feel a release with every exhale. And then we'll gently switch sides. So plant your right foot back down. Extend your left leg forward, rest your heel onto the mat. Let your left foot, your left leg relax. Let it be heavy. And feel that gentle stretch, that opening through the front of the left hip. Breath by breath, letting go, creating space. Rebend into your left knee, and you'll keep your hips on top of the block. You can bring your arms either alongside the body or keep them out. And extend your legs up towards the sky. So now using the block for the supported shoulder stance, restorative version. Relaxing through the body as the legs extend up. So you can keep your arms as they were. You can rest the hands onto the hips or onto the belly, just whatever feels comfortable. And you can stack your heels over the knees, over the hips, on top of the block. This is so good for circulation in the legs, in the body. And you can just imagine any stagnancy in the body draining down through the legs, draining down through the back, and being absorbed by the earth. Let yourself rest into this shape. And then go ahead and bend your knees, plant your feet back down to the floor. You can bring your arms back alongside your body, press into the arms and feet to again lift your hips up off the block. Slide it out from underneath you, lower down onto your spine, lower your hips back down to the floor. Extend your legs out, setting up for your Shavasana. And we'll use the block here as well. So this works best if you have the cork block. It's a bit heavier than the foam block, but the foam block can work as well. You just rest the block right on top of the pelvis, right on top of the front of the hips. And that weight of the block can just help you to feel a little bit more grounded in your Shavasana. You can open your arms up, rest in your comfortable shape. for our deep rest here, we'll just take a full breath together. Take a big full breath in through the nose, expanding through the lungs, opening up through the body. Sigh it out through the mouth, let it all go. And feel that release. You can feel the weight of the block helping to ground your energy. Relaxing, melting everything down towards the center of the earth. Releasing effort as you drop into ease. If you have the time and space to stay in your Shavasana longer, feel free to do so. If you're about ready to close up your practice, you can start to bring movement into your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms all the way back behind you. You can bend your knees up, move your block off of your body. Roll over to either side and just passing through a fetal position. You can use your hands, your arms to press yourself up to your meditation seat. And you can always use your block underneath your hips as well to give you a bit more space for your hips for a comfortable meditation seat. As you settle in, you can rest your hands to the tops of the legs, feel your tall spine, feel the openness of your heart space. Just closing our practice, a few more moments of stillness, of silence. Bring your palms to touch in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra, and thank yourself for showing up for this practice. For feeling supported, feeling grounded with the help of our block. And we'll close our practice today with one more full breath together. Big inhale through the nose, through the mouth, sigh it out, let it go. And perhaps set one more intention for how you'd like to feel for the rest of the day. As you're ready, you can gently open up the eyes. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me